Penny Thornton sends us into the weekend with a mouth-watering salmon dish with some star appeal. And what makes it even better is that it's been perfectly paired with the zodiac signs in mind. This is definitely a dish that you are going to want to prepare at your next dinner party. But speaking about dinner parties, there's quite the party happening this weekend. It's the royal wedding, of course.
Absolutely. My goodness, yes. What a party. Unusual. We're going to see something unusual here.
Yeah. I think Megan and I look a bit alike if you had to look at me from the back.
I can't possibly comment on that.
Okay, so we are making quite a delicious salmon dish today. I love salmon.
Now, in fact, in the book, I've got a beetroot and vodka cured salmon.
Yes.
And that comes under the sign of Scorpio because of the beetroot. But basically, fish, shellfish, cured fish is very Aquarius, very Capricorn, very Taurus. So we're sticking to those signs when we're doing anything like this. And a lemon-flavoured gin. And because I'm here and I'm using things that I can find here, this is a ginologist gin, so it's particularly nice with this.
Lovely. Should we get started?
We should. I'm going to make the cure, first of all. So you need caster sugar.
Okay.
And you need salt. We've used some pink salt here, but you can use any old salt.
I love pink salt. I actually only use pink salt nowadays.
It's very, very nice. I'm very fond of it. A little pepper. We need dill, fresh dill. And I'm going to have to eyeball this, folks.
Yeah, you're going to have to watch
It's
that.
100 mils, but I'm generous on the gin, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm going to take
say it's
these
about that
out
much.
of our way.
Yeah, and I'm going to mix this up. And again, with something like this, you want a paste, really.
Yeah.
And you need to do it on both sides.
I'm already thinking of that flavour combination, which is quite nice, because sometimes if you're just having a gin and tonic, putting a bit of dill in there would be quite nice.
But doesn't that smell good?
Yeah, it does.
I mean, we should have smell-o-vision because it's a really, really, really delicious smell.
That's such a good idea. Smell-o-vision.
And I'm going to turn this over so that we then do the other side. Not such a pretty side, but it still needs to be done.
Yeah.
So as you can see, it's
a little metallic. It's still pretty.
It's still pretty. And this basically is going to cure the salmon. And you need to leave this for an hour. So you need to leave it in the fridge for about an hour. Now, the other thing about this dish, and again, it comes from my long experience as an impulsive chef, that this takes 4 hours to do from start to finish. So don't try to do this dish half an hour before your guests come, because it just won't be done. The curing actually cooks the salmon, although we are, in fact, going to cook it as well. But, you know, technically, you could probably leave that for overnight, for instance. Yeah. And you could just slice the salmon and serve it with some pickles and, you know, dark bread, black bread. It's a very Scandinavian dish, this.
In order to cure salmon, is it kind of similar to marinating meat? That you would perhaps, the longer it stays in that mixture, the better it is?
Yes, I think so, that definitely. And with the one I have in the book, which is beetroot, so you've got this colour going, you end up with this purpley red, gorgeous coloured salmon. You do need to keep turning it. Up to this stage, this is an easy peasy dish. The next little bit is a little bit complicated. And what needs to happen after you've let that sort of cure in the fridge, you wash it off. You need to wash all that salt off. And I would recommend you take a little tiny slice of it and eat it. And that will tell you whether you've got a good flavour or not. And, you know, then you can play around with perhaps putting it back a bit or whatever you're going to do. So once it's done an hour and you're now ready to get to the second step, we're going to roll it. It's not really complicated because once you start to twiddle the end bits, it will form its nice little round. But keep it firm. It's all nicely rolled. And you probably want to keep that really on one side till you're ready to cook it. And I'm saying it's in a way already cooked, but this also changes the texture of the salmon, which makes this kind of cured salmon a little bit different. So once you've got it to this stage, you're then going to put it in a little baking tray. And you're going to have water in the baking tray, hot water, and it needs to be just under the point where you say, ouch, right? That will give it to you. And then...
So this is your thermometer?
Something like that. And then you cook it for 10 minutes on one side in the oven, and then you turn it over, and you cook it for another 10 minutes, and then basically that's done. Again, you need to leave it for a couple of hours after that, because you want your salmon to be in a really tight little cylinder, because you're going to slice it. As we can see here, we've got some beautiful slices of the salmon. And it's such a pretty dish. It really is. And I serve this with pickled cucumber, very easy. Just use a vegetable peeler. You make your very easy pickling fluid, and it's done in like 15 minutes. And then wasabi mayonnaise, that's really the clincher to this.
Yeah, this seems like the pièce de résistance, because this is a great taster.
It is. So you can use shop-bought mayonnaise, you can make your own mayonnaise, it matters not, because it's the wasabi that's going to actually make the taste for you.
So it's wasabi powder.
Wasabi powder. Now, you really need to check how you want it to be.
Okay.
Doesn't this colour look great?
No, it's wonderful. It's got like you know, those vanilla drinks.
Yes.
That they make green. But I really like hot wasabi. I mean, it's...
Well,
I
try this.
Add
is this going to be hot? You try that. Is that enough for you, or could you take more?
Oh, I could totally take more.
You could take more. All right. Well,
I can handle heat.
If
that's
you
why
want
I'm in the
to
kitchen.
eat this like Jeannie, then just chuck all of it in. Just chuck and stir.
No, but I'm sure you handle a lot lot of heat as well.
I handle a lot of heat.
Yeah.
Yes, I love heat. Well, we're both Aries, so
yeah
I like that.
You are wonderful. You know what? I've learned so much from you these last few days in the kitchen, because it's such a pleasure to be around somebody who takes time in the kitchen, because usually nowadays everything's such a rush and everybody's trying to cook things as quick as possible. It's lovely to know that you can take time, and it's really enjoyable.
Well, it is, and you can bring someone along and chat to them.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. You are absolutely
amazing. It's been wonderful. Thank you for inviting me. I've loved every minute of it. Thank you.
And of course, your book is online. All the details will be on our website and, of course, on the screen. And as well, it's an e-book as well.
Yes, it's an iBook.
An iBook.
An iBook, yes.
So that means it's available for download.
And Amazon
I'm
Prime,
get the
yes.
paper
everywhere.
because I'm old-fashioned like that. Now, it doesn't matter what your star sign is, you're going to want to make this delicious dish. So to get the recipe sent to your phone, simply SMS the keyword star to 33650. SMSs are £1.50 each and no free SMSs apply. And we'll send you the ingredients list and a link to this delicious salmon.